Welcome back to Gardener's Cottage in Blakeney. This week I'm going to be giving you a tour of the cottage from a female perspective. You've had lots of tours over the years from Mike, but today I'm going to be giving you a tour. So this is Gardener's Cottage. We've owned this cottage now for about 20 years. When we purchased the cottage, it had not had any work done to it probably for about 40 or 50 years. And the cottage isn't actually that old. It was built, I think, in the 1950s or 60s. And we were only, I think, it had never actually come onto the open market. The people who purchased the cottage, or built the cottage rather, didn't actually sell it. They lived in it for a long time, and then when they died, it passed by inheritance, I think, to one of their children. And then I think when he died, he didn't have any relatives, and so he left it to a friend. Anyway, should we go inside and see what the cottage has got to offer? Okay, so as you come in through the front door, you come into this entrance hall, and with stairs going up to the first floor. There's a corridor there going to the kitchen and the downstairs bedrooms. The cottage we haven't actually cleaned the cottage yet. The guests left earlier in the week, so we've just come in today to do some deep cleaning. It's the end of the summer season, and so the cottage has had a lot of use over the summer. So this is sort of the entry area for bags, picnic baskets, dog leads, etc. So where should we go first? I think I'll take you into this room. So off the entrance hall is the snug. Okay, this was the original lounge for the house when we bought the house. When we bought the house, it was a 3-bedroom cottage, and actually it had an annex which we then incorporated into the main house, and we also converted the roof space into accommodation. So it went from being a 3-bedroom cottage with an annex to a 5-bedroom cottage. But as I said, the house hadn't had anything done to it for about 40 or 50 years, maybe more. And so we took our time doing the works, but we gradually, over sort of 4 or 5 years, we did a mass renovation and extension to the cottage. There was always a fireplace here, but I think it was quite I'm not really sure what you describe it as actually. A 1950s or 60s fireplace designed to take coal. So we opened it up, the chimney breast, and we put a log burner in here, which is actually a multi-fuel stove, but we predominantly burn logs. It's really nice and cosy. So in the snug, we have 2 sort of squashy, comfortable sofas, and the snug has dual aspect onto the garden. The garden at the cottage is a real feature, and one of the things that we actually fell in love with when we bought the cottage. This snug there's lots of books. It's a really nice place to spend a sort of cosy evening. It's really lovely in winter in here. It's so cosy. And in summer it's lovely because it looks out over the garden. And we've also got lots and lots of DVDs in here because we love a film night. And there's a very good local spot for getting popcorn and crisps and chocolates if you like to do a sort of film night. And then there's a big television to watch the DVDs on, which also has access to Netflix and things like that, sort of digital telly. Anyway, we themed this room on a floral theme. So everything in here pretty much is floral themed, including the pictures on the walls. And we've got lots and lots of vintage prints. So we collect vintage prints. So there are lots of them in here. And the cushions are all floral. So it's very much on the gardener's cottage theme. And over here, we have some little vintage prints that we've collected over the last sort of 20 or 30 years for the cottage. We also have lots of plants in here. So it's very much a garden room, really, a garden snug, with views out of here and into I just don't know if I can zoom in here, but the view out of the window is to the next door neighbouring thatch cottage. You can see it just in the distance there, which has just had its thatch renewed. Let's come out again anyway. So it's a very peaceful location in Blakeney. It's in the centre of Blakeney, but it's very peacefully located off a private lane. Okay, from the snug, we're going to the kitchen. This is the real heart of the home. It's a really large, open plan kitchen with views with French windows opening straight into the garden. You can see the dogs are sunbathing. We've done quite a lot of landscaping in the garden this year. So we've opened up the patio area, which used to be quite small. You can see I've been shopping for seeds. I want to sow some Californian poppies. I used to have Californian poppies here, but for some reason this year, over winter, I lost them. So this is the real heart of the home, is this enormous Aga here, which is used for all the cooking. It's a night storage Aga, so it's always on. It does mean that in winter the cottage is lovely and cosy. And so in the kitchen, the table seats for up to 14 people comfortably. It's a really enormous table. It's the biggest table I think I've ever seen in a cottage. And then we have 2 sort of comfy, squashy sofas with cushions and throws. And look, actually, there are lots of cushions because so you can use them on the garden furniture and also on the kitchen chairs. You might wonder why we have throws on the sofas. The reason being that the cottage is dog and family friendly. So this gives guests the option to cover the sofas, which actually most of them choose to. Okay, going over here, we have a sort of coffee area. So in this area, we have 2 coffee machines, a DeLonghi coffee machine for filter coffee and also a pod coffee machine. And there's also an electric kettle and a cafetiere and lots of teapots and just a selection, big selection actually, of cookery books, including quite a few Aga cookery books in case anybody needs a bit of help with using the Aga. And again, this has another window out into the garden and into this little seating area. I'll just open the door. So you're out straight in from the kitchen into the walled garden. The garden's part walled and the rest of it is either fences or hedges, so it's very, very private, as you can see, and very, very peaceful, even though it's right in the centre of Blakeney, literally a 2-minute walk from the quay. We also have a large Aga fridge freezer in here, which is fantastic if you're in a big group, because the cottage sleeps up to 14 guests, and it means you can have a big supermarket delivery and you can get it all into the fridges. There are 2 fridges in the cottage. The other one is, I'll just take you to the other one, is over there. I'll just zoom in. And it's a sort of normal size, full size Smeg fridge freezer. But because the cottage does sleep large groups, then we decided it was best to put a second fridge freezer in. Because if you get a big delivery of food, it's often trying to squeeze it into a smaller fridge can be problematic. There's another television inside the cupboard and a selection of more DVDs and games, family games and books, children's books. Okay, let's just go over here. So here's the second sofa. And again, this room is, oh my goodness, this room is triple aspect. So out of these French windows, it goes out into a little courtyard garden. So if you see here, this is the courtyard. I'll just take you out, which at the moment is being dominated by this enormous fig that we do need to hack back. We hack this back every year, and every year it comes back like a triffid. So it is ready for its annual hack back. But this courtyard's really private and sheltered, and it's a lovely place to sit in the evening and just have a drink. It gets the sunsets, and there's a little gate here, so if you've got young children or a puppy, then you can confine them to this small area, so you're not wondering where they've wandered off to. It's really useful, particularly with puppies, we found. This is like really handy little yard. And it's in summer, there's climbing roses in here and honeysuckle and a huge wisteria. Several climbing roses, all which are scented. So anyway, I'll take you back inside. So we're back into the kitchen. Just shut this door. So this is a big sort of family entertaining space. There's what are these called? Music speakers here to go with which will pair with your phone. Right, where should we go next? There's a dishwasher in here. Oh, actually, I need to unload it. Sinks, we're just busy washing up at the moment. We brought packed lunches with us today. And then lots of cupboard space and a sink for all sorts of things under there. Cleaning products. Here's the Aga. I don't know if I've already showed you the Aga. It's an electric Aga. So you cook on the hobs. You start things off on the hobs and then you finish them off in the ovens. It's a 4-oven electric Aga. Again, there's lots more storage space here and a wide selection. Whoops! That wasn't clever. Who put the mugs away? Not me. Oh dear, I've broken one of my favourite mugs. Anyway, I'm not going to be put off by that. Mike, could you just come and sweep up the mug that I've dropped before the dog gets it in his feet? That was a bit of a mess up. Oh well, I can't even blame it on the dog. Did you put that mug away? Keep going on my tour, but I need you to clean up. My favourite mug's broken. Oh, I think that I'm blaming that on my other half. Anyway, let's keep going with the downstairs tour. So, we're now into the downstairs bathroom. So this bathroom is very much themed on Blakeney. So the prints in here are all of Blakeney. That's Blakeney seal trips. This is a Peter Scott print of geese. In autumn and winter, North Norfolk is full of migratory geese. This is a really old print of Blakeney. And again, we've gone with the seals theme in here. So we have, because Blakeney is famous for its seal colonies, so we have lots of little seals. So when you're here, you might go on a seal trip, and shells, because we're at the seaside. So what have we got in here? We've got a high flush toilet, a sink and a bath with a shower. It hasn't got a shower screen in here. This is a really good bathroom for bathing children, or maybe muddy dogs. I should imagine there's been quite a few dogs over the years bathed in there. Right, and now I'm going to go through and to one of the master bedrooms in the cottage. So this is one of my favourite rooms in the cottage. This is a lovely, it's a north-facing room. Or is it north-facing? I think it might get the sunrises actually. So that probably means is it east or west? I always get mixed up. Anyway, I love this room. I love this bed. It's one of the nicest beds in the cottage. It's such a beautiful bed. So this is our 4-poster one of our master bedrooms. It's a king size 4-poster, and there's a large antique wardrobe in here that we bought from an antique centre about 20 years ago. Whoops, it's locked. Let me get into it. So in here, and it's actually full of vintage coat hangers and a hairdryer, which is always handy. And the big, it's actually, I think, what would you call this? Is this a secretariat? Yeah, I think it's a gentleman's wardrobe. It's a fascinating piece of antique furniture. There's a mirror in here, so you can see when you're getting dressed, which is very handy. And another mirror here. And actually the door is lockable for privacy. We have 2 bedsides. There's a little storage area over here for where you can put, you could use it as a dressing area. Oh, it's full of magazines actually. I need to probably take those magazines out of there. I didn't realise they were in there. And I'm planning to put a mirror over here actually. That's one of my plans this year, is to put a mirror above that. And there's a sort of vintage, watercolour here that we bought when we first got married. So we must have had that about 40 years. We may not have even been married at the time. The curtains in here are vintage poppy pattern and are actually original to the house. I think these curtains were in the house when we bought it. So they're probably from the 1960s, this blue poppy. If anyone knows what this fabric is, please tell me, I'd love to know. And again, you've got lovely views from this cottage of the neighbouring cottages, which are all really pretty. And you can see the red roofs of the cottages in Blakeney. We've got a lovely honeysuckle hedge out there. The scent is amazing, and also a huge rambling rector rose, which is absolutely wonderful when it's flowering in May and June. Okay, going through from this master 4-poster bedroom, we've got this lovely bathroom. So this is one of the biggest bathrooms in the house. As you can hear, it's quite echoey in here. We've themed this very much of a sort of Peter Scott, really, I think is the theme. So we've got lots of Peter Scott prints, which the colours just very much make me think of Blakeney. And then we've got pictures of sand dunes, which makes me think of Wales next to sea. We themed the colour scheme very much on a sort of coastal colour scheme. It's got a huge cast iron bath in here. And then it's also got quite a large shower, which is always handy. And we've also got a huge radiator, a toilet, a sink, and views out to the front of the cottage, to the front gate. It's a really lovely bathroom this. Again, it's dual aspect. We're lucky in the cottage, we have quite a lot of dual aspect rooms. So this is the parking you can see out here for the cottage. And there is actually quite a bit of parking. I'll take you outside and show you, but parking is at a real premium in Blakeney. Some of the parking you do have to pay for, but actually we're really lucky because we have lots of parking, so that you can see there's a car here, and views of the cottage next door, which is another beautiful red pan-tile cottage. Right, okay, I'll take you out of here now. You can hear the fans on. I think I'll switch those off, save on the electricity. Okay, so coming out of the four-poster bedroom through the legend brace, is it legend brace cottage doors? And then we're going into another bedroom. So there's another downstairs bedroom, which makes this house quite unusual in Blakeney, in that it's a 5-bedroom house and it has 2 large downstairs bedrooms. So this house is very popular with multi-generational groups, because this room has its own little seating area, so you can get away from the hustle and bustle. Come in here, there's a bookshelf, and there's also a television in the cupboard. So sometimes if it's all getting too much and you just need a bit of quiet time, this is a really, really nice room, because you've got your own TV and your own sitting area. Just shut that. So there's a big, I think this is another king-size bed, or it may be a double. No, I think looking at it, that is a king-size bed. So you've got a king-size solid oak bed, which has been painted, 2 bedsides, a little sort of seating area with a lamp and a coffee table, and lovely, really comfy chairs. It's got a little wardrobe in here, and again, it's got a big mirror, because it's always nice to see what you look like when you put your clothes on, isn't it? And again, it's a vintage wardrobe. It's got a hairdryer in here, and again, lots of vintage coat hangers so you can hang up your clothes. It's a nice little wardrobe, this one. And there's also an area down here where you might want to leave your luggage. Right, I might bring you back to this actually. This one has a very quirky feature. I'm going to come back to it at the end. Again, we themed this on a coastal theme. So we have lots of coastal pictures of Norfolk. I think this is Norfolk because we bought these locally in an auction. And again, I think this is Norfolk. So they're all very similar. And these are Peter Scott. Oh, I think these are Peter Scott's. Again, this looks like Norfolk. This could be the Norfolk boards, which is not far away either. So what's behind the door? I'll bring you back to this, I think. So let's take you, there's another little surprise in this room as well. This room's very quirky. So we've got some lovely local pictures, again, more pictures of sailing boats. This room's really special in that it actually has access out onto the courtyard garden. So you can come out in the morning with your morning coffee and sit outside. And it's a lovely little spot to sit, or in the evening. It's lovely and sunny. Okay, anyway, I'll just come back in here. Oh, I need to maybe cut that plant back. It's a little bit encroaching onto the door. You can hear it catching. Right, I'm going to come back to that room behind the door because that's a bit of a surprise. So, I'm going upstairs. I hope you're still with me. If you are, well done. It's quite a long tour, this, isn't it? I know how much you like a house tour, so I thought you might like to see around the cottage. So we're going up the stairs. You can see over summer, the stairs have taken a lot of wear and tear. So we're going to need to, this week, I think we're going to need to give them a really good clean, and then we're going to need to repaint them. So we're up at the top landing, and from here there's a good view over Blakeney High Street, and so you can see the cottages in the distance. But it's not a busy high street. So there's quite a few pedestrians, but it's not a busy car street. Where should we go first? Ooh, so much to show you. Okay, I think we'll go into the smallest bedroom. Sorry, that light's flickering a little bit. It's not flickering in real life, but these low wattage light bulbs, they do flicker. So this is the smallest room in the cottage. It has a double bed. Those lights don't flicker in real life. It's just the way the camera picks them up. So there's a pink painted wooden double bed in here. And then it has views over the garden. Golly, it's lovely and sunny today. It's quite a lot, for Blakeney, this is a good sized cottage garden. I don't know if you can see very much in there because the sun is shining in my eyes. I can't see very much, but it is a good sized garden for Blakeney, this. And very private and sunny. And then there's an extra bed in here. The reason for this is that when my nephews and nieces were younger, I used to find that when they came to stay with me, with their parents, they were quite often nervous being in a strange house, and they liked to sleep with their parents when they were very young. So actually we decided that's probably quite common. And so we thought this gives parents the option to sleep young children in with them if they're nervous, or it also gives the option for bigger groups of families to come away. So here's one of the largest bedrooms in the cottage. This is an enormous king-size bed in here. It's a massive oak bed that's been painted and distressed. And also this is a dual aspect room. So it has views over the back garden and the courtyard garden. It has views into Blakeney as well, across to all the other cottages in Blakeney. So there's the views down into the courtyard garden. So it's like a secret garden, the courtyard. In this room, we've also put 2 single beds in here. So this is the family room in the cottage. This is ideal for families with young children, because the parents can go in the king size bed and the children can go in the 2 single beds. It's a good size room, and it has views over the garden and the trees behind, and also the other cottages in Blakeney. Okay, I'll just show you what's behind this cupboard door. This is an interesting, when we were doing our conversion, the build of the attic spaces, this was the builder's idea. It was a wasted space otherwise, so we converted it into a wardrobe, and there's a travel cot in there. And switch the lights off. I'll have to come back and switch the lamps off. So we've got a landing here with pictures, seaside-y sort of pictures, although I don't know where that is. That looks like it's somewhere abroad. And then there's a family bathroom here with a bath and a shower over it with a shower screen, a sink, a large ladder radiator for drying towels, and a toilet. And again, this is themed on Blakeney and North Norfolk. This lovely old photo of Blakeney that I bought in the charity shop. I absolutely love that photo. And then just some shelves. There's a window there for ventilation, and a chair, so if children are in the bath, you can sit with them. Right, where haven't we been? This is the landing with this huge dresser base on here, and there's a little spot here if you want to just sit somewhere quietly. And just, I think I've shown you the views out of there, haven't I? And again, the pictures are all themed on the seaside. Okay, let's take you into another of the large bedrooms. This is the 5th bedroom now in the house. It's another very, very large bedroom. It has a huge king-size French bed in it. In fact, this is my other favourite bedroom. I have lots of favourites, but I love this bedroom. This is the bedroom that we always used when we stayed in the cottage before we moved to Norfolk. It's a really, really comfortable bed, this. We love it, and it's just a lovely, lovely space. It has Velux windows. It has a little wardrobe, really dinky little wardrobe in here with vintage coat hangers in. Has a little dressing table, painted furniture, and a mirror. And we've themed this as very much as we wanted to give this a sort of French feel. It's a little cupboard there. There's a mirror again, so you can see what you look like when you're getting dressed. Chest of drawers and some Lloyd Loom chairs, and a little sort of coffee area. This room also has a single bed in case you want to sleep a child in with you. It just gives you options. And again, this has views out into the sort of front garden area and to the neighbouring property and to the car area. Okay, right, there's only one thing I think left to show you. Oh no, 2 things. I'm going to show you the surprise room. I haven't shown you the bathroom. Golly, this room has an ensuite bathroom. Again, we've themed it on a sort of coastal theme. It has a shower cubicle, a chair, a ladder radiator for drying towels, a roll top bath, The room is wood panelled, like all our bathrooms are, and the sink. So again, this is a really nice little ensuite bathroom. It's not as big as the downstairs, but it's still a very good ensuite bathroom with everything you need, really. Right. Okay, let me switch that light off. I'm going to switch some of the lights off so I don't waste electricity, and then I'm going to take you downstairs. I have to come back and switch the lamps off. And then if we've got time, we'll go in the garden. Although I may have to save that for another day. Okay, I'm taking you back through now to one of the downstairs bedrooms. And just to show you, oh, I've managed to leave that door open. Oh, it's lovely having the draft coming through as well. Another nice thing about this bedroom. Okay, this is the surprise. We have an ensuite utility room. Now, lots of people have thought this is a little quirky over the years, but it works very well, we find. Oh, what's he put all those for? These are hangers that are actually going to leave the building. I don't know why he's hanging them all there. Anyway, in here, off this bedroom, we have a washing machine, tumble dryer, a utility room, an iron. It looks out over the little courtyard. A sink, ironing board, high chairs, a linen press with spare cushions and spare throws if they're needed, and an area for ironing. And also a clothes area is down there, and also a mop and bucket, and all sorts of spare things are in here. So we have spare toilet rolls. I don't know if it's been restocked. Some spare toilet rolls, first aid kit, vases for flowers, just sort of consumables for the cottage are kept in here. And this has a stable door out into the courtyard, and there's a washing line. I don't know if you can see that, but there's a washing line in the courtyard for drying swimsuits or anything that you don't want to put on the air or the tumble dryer. Anyway, I'll just open this, open it actually so it ventilates. Right, I think that's the end of the house tour. I think that I've missed anything. I must come back and shut this door actually. It's nice having the draft in, but I must remember to shut it. So I'll just give you, I think I might finish there. I'll just give you a final view out into the courtyard. That's the view from the bed. Anyway, thank you for joining me on the cottage tour. I haven't actually got out into the garden, but I think that's probably enough for today. I think I'm ready for a cup of tea. Anyway, thank you for joining me. Bye for now.